In the last example that when I did first name upper with these little parentheses here, um, it did not permanently change first name. So check this out. So if I add another name or add another line and I say print first name, it will still be, let's go ahead and run this. It will still be read with a capital R. So it didn't permanently change it to an uppercase. So if I actually do want to permanently change a variable, I need to set the variable to whatever I want it to be. So check this out. If I want to permanently change the variable, I'm going to say first name equals first name dot upper and last name equals last name dot upper. So now what I'm doing is I'm setting the variable to basically itself, but the uppercase version of it. So now if I print first name, it's going to be all capitalized every time. So I've permanently changed first name to an all capitals version. And you may say to yourself, well, why would you ever want to do that? But a lot of times people will enter their names, sometimes all caps, sometimes not all caps or whatever. If you were running a bank, let's say, and you wanted to have names, you might want to create all capital versions of the name. So to do that, you would set the variable to something. This idea of setting a variable to itself can also be used in our first kind of real program, which is going to be a counting program. So let's go ahead and create a counting program here. And I'm going to start with a variable called I, and I'm going to set it to 0. So when you see single letters used as variables like I, J, or K, they're always being used as counting variables, and it kind of means they're disposable. We're going to use it for a very short period of time, and it's sort of a shortcut that programmers use to sort of say, hey, this is a variable I'm not going to need for very long. So I'm going to say, I'm going to introduce a new function now, which is while. So check this out. While I is less than 100. So this is a function. The while function will do something while I is less than 100. And you finish it with this colon, which is 2 dots. Watch what happens when I hit return. It automatically indents everything after the colon because this is what it's going to do while I is less than 100. So it's going to print I, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and run this, and we're going to see that it doesn't do what I'm hoping it will do. It just prints a bunch of zeros forever, okay? Why is it doing that? Because I never did anything to increase I. So let's go ahead and use the setting a variable to itself, and I'm going to say I equals I plus 1. So this is a counting program. What it's going to do is the first line, it's going to say, is I less than 100? Well, yes it is, because I is at 0. Then it's going to print I. Well, since I is 0, it's going to print 0. Then it's going to say I equals I plus 1. And then it's going to go back to here. Is I less than 100? Well, now I is 0 plus 1, so it's 1, still less than 100, and so forth. It's going to print the first 100 numbers. And it should have stopped at 99 because once it gets to 100 here, it goes up here and it says while I is less than 100, it will print. If I wanted to print up to 100, I could say less than or equal to 100, and then it will print up to 100. If I wanted to count by fives, I could just say 5, and now it'll count by fives. If I wanted to count by tens, boom. Sometimes you also may want to have it not print on every line, and I think you can do that by just adding a comma. Let's see what happens. Print I, comma. Yep, it prints just across the lines. So this is basically how they did the matrix, right? You may remember that scene. So if we say it's up to, I don't know, 10,000, bigger number, this might look like the matrix a little bit as it's printing up to 10,000. And you can see that computers are really, really fast. So it can count up to 10,000 by tens in a pretty short period of time. In fact, the thing that takes it the longest is actually the printing. The printing command takes a long time in sort of a computer way of thinking. To print all of those takes a while. But anyway, so you've just learned what the while function does, and you've learned that you can do a counting program. So see if you can make other counting programs by other intervals.